Hello, I'm Jody Wolf. You're watching Expoz on January 15, 2016, 1:55 a.m. in Birmingham. Topic, all I can say is, holy cow. I mean, wow. We have had the United States 90 events. Every event was caused when we had our hands in dividing Israel. Every event, 90 of them. The first event, when George Bush Sr. sat down at the Madrid Land for Peace conference, as he pulled his chair to the table, a 30-foot wave took his home. This was the perfect storm in 1991. The cost of the perfect storm, ironically, is not listed. And I guess it was minimal compared to what follows. But in the name of it is the perfect storm. It has no name. That's it. That started what would be the first of 90 events, 89 more to follow. So then you have, in 1992, you have Andrew. The cost, $22 billion. And I'm saying it that way because every storm we've had up until 1990, and I'm talking about from 1900, the total cost of every storm, and that includes in-country tornadoes and floods and so forth, up until 1990, the total cost was $30 billion. And then 1991, the perfect storm, that's a slap in George Bush's face to wake him up. It didn't. So then in 1992, Andrew comes. The cost of Andrew was $22 billion. So as you know, these meetings continued to take place. So after the perfect storm and Andrew, there's still 88 more events that's going to hurt this country to the tune of trillions. Probably added up, everything could be half of our total debt. I don't mean the 86 trillion, that's hidden away, but probably in the range of, if you count the stock market crashes, 10, 12, 14 trillion dollars. Without those, 8 or 9 trillion. So, and in France and Britain, and when they were over there, Tony Blair and Angela Merkel and the France PM trying to sit at the table and work things out, what happens to them? The same thing. They have severe flooding, severe drought followed, severe crop loss. Holland, that grows 10 million plus tulips per year, didn't have any. And Russia, as you know, a complete crop failure, and that's been continuing until recently. So every country that's come on board is being hit. Now they're getting nasty today because they're ramping up the meetings, and France took it on their own to go before the UN for votes. That was a mistake. Let me get to that one. I've already either passed it. But anyway, what they're trying to do is take part of Israel, which is part of Jerusalem, and give it to the Arabs for a Palestinian state within a state. within the land that God gave the forefathers of the Jews, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You don't take away what God gives you. You don't do it. Look what Israel has done. They have deserved at times to lose that land, but yet when God says something, then he means it, and it's written in stone and cannot be changed. The only thing that can be changed is your name taken from the book of life. And I'll explain that on another blog, but not right now. So they've had some meetings with the UN and with other countries over there in the vote, December 14, 2014, the vote was in favor of a future Palestinian state. The vote was 498 to 88. And then December the 17th, 2014, the EU Parliament voted in favor of that Palestinian state. 150 abstained. And but it didn't help any, because what happened to France? On December the 17th, 2014, the euro was 125 against the American dollar. It dropped to 110. That was well over $1 trillion. That was several $1 trillion loss. And then it dropped again. It went down to $5. And there's more trillions in loss. Well, it's gone further than that, as you know. And all this for the Muslim Arab world that swears to kill you and to kill the Jews. Why are we kissing the ashes of the people that swears to kill us and trying to split someone that has the God-given right and the God-given gift that can't be split, but yet we try? So the only way God can tell us no is to slap us across this country with these storms and hurricanes and severe tornado outbreaks, the worst in history, all in the last 6 or 7 years. And not only that, in the last 30 days, California has had 1,000 records broken of highs and lows, of drought and of floods and of fires. 1,000 records broken last month. Well, up until the 12th of this month. And then in the Midwest, look how many times Missouri and Kansas has been destroyed by these doggone tornadoes that comes through. 200 or 300 tornadoes in 2 days. And even through Alabama, it missed Tuscaloosa, the University of Alabama, Tuscaloosa. I mean, missed it by 100 feet. And there were a lot of people there. But it skirted right by and didn't hit University of Tuscaloosa. I wonder why. There's good, God-fearing Christians that go to college there. I'm not saying at all that there aren't God-fearing Christians in every country. There is. There's a lot. But judgment still comes. Unfortunately, the just will get rained on just like the unjust. And that's part of it. So the French again earned another judgment, because on December the 30th, 2015, they tried to force the UN once again to pass the vote to split Israel. It was back on the table, and the UN said no. So they shut it up, but yet that did not stop judgment from coming to that country over there, or those countries. It came in another few trillion loss. Now, I don't know where China fits in. I really don't. as far as what they're doing, if anything, to Israel, but they've been hit too hard, real hard. So that I can't tell you why. I just know that they have been hurt severely. So 90 events, and we continue to go right along. And I'm going to skip a lot of it because I spent too much time. But right here, and I'm going to give you where you can go and find this, exactly where you can go right and find it and hear it. The specific reason for the latest attack in California is because America is declining from years of hurting Israel. This will continue. And if you go and look at these two people that suddenly burst into a Christmas party and started killing, those two, husband and wife, graduated college, had degrees, good degrees, had a child. But yet they spent 2 years back and forth between here, Iran, Egypt. Of course, Egypt and Iran gets along like a tiger and a monkey. And but they come back and they're radicalized. They no longer have regard for human life whatsoever. They want to destroy this country at all costs. And the Syrian refugee flooding today, guys, if you think, now I keep hearing that most of them are Christian. Well, the few that aren't are creating and causing tremendous damage. If one of those SOBs, and I excuse my French, but I guess I'm not quite like everybody else. I say what's on my mind. I don't want anyone, I want everyone to receive salvation. Every person. That would stop it. But I want it because the soul, God said it's better to never have been born than to lose your soul. And also he said, fear not the one that can hurt the body, but the one that can hurt the body and the soul. That puts it in perspective. So all these people that continue to come over and hurt and hurt and hurt, that's what's going to happen. But yet we're still trying to bring them. It's the few that gives many a bad name. Unfortunately, that will continue. That's not going to stop. It's going to get much, much worse as time goes. We haven't seen the tip of it. And I'm going to say that we're going to be yanked out of here sometime in the near future. And when we are, this country will decline so severely, it will be lower in ranking than Cuba. Watch it. Jody Wolf, Expoz.